heavy.
I've already hit record because you're just showing off now. Look at you. You're like one of those people that puts a gaffer tape over the Apple logo on your MacBook, except
Why would I do that?
you're just being a Caseify Star Wars. What even is that logo?
That's the Imperial logo.
No one knows
Empire. Yeah, they do. There's a lot of Star Wars fans thinking, "Oh, he's got the Empire logo on his laptop."
No one thought it until I pointed it out. No one gave a rat's.
There's my little. That's the Caseify iPhone 15 Pro Max. There's the Millennium Falcon on there.
Because you
and check it out. Look at this. It's a stand too. Look, stand.
Oh, unbelievable.
Isn't that amazing? Look, it's even ring. You can hold it.
Mate, I've got a Zag case. It's got a stand as well.
It's not as good as mine.
Look, it stands up. What are you talking about?
Fantastic.
What's the issue?
Is it the iPhone?
No, mate. It's
iPhone 15 Pro Max. Yeah, good.
I was going to say another brand.
It's the Pro or the Pro Max you're using now?
I've been using the Max since the get-go.
What?
Because I'm the 5 times zoom.
Normally a Pro. Of course, you're the camera.
You know.
Normally you sort of you can't handle stuff that big. You need something. You need
I need something smaller in my hand for familiarity.
Something you're used to, that you're comfortable with, is what I was going to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You like a smaller phone.
Yeah.
Don't you? You want the mini back.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
100%.
There you go. Funny thing, they cancelled it.
Yeah. What about last week when you just absolutely smashed me with a photo and put it on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Have
you had much feedback?
Did you notice, because you've given up on helping remind me in the production of this program to do thumbnails every week?
Yeah.
Did you notice that YouTube picked that as the thumbnail?
Yes, I did. And so they should. It was the highlight of the program.
You know, actually, it's interesting because this was the first time on YouTube there was a button that said AI would choose. I'm pretty sure it said AI, because normally when you upload something to YouTube, it says here's 5 images.
Yeah.
I think there's now 3 options. There's upload, AI, and something else. And yeah, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it used AI to go this.
Okay.
Let's embarrass Trev.
But I think let's do a thumbnail.
Now.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done a thumbnail. There's a few that I think we need to sort of get some fresh ones.
All right.
We've had a few in the can. We've got a few to use.
Yeah. I feel like committing to a thumbnail is easy, but I wouldn't commit to like a photo shoot right now. I'm still a few Weight Watchers points off that.
We can just do it from the chest up. Just do it from here. Just like this. Look, see the laptop level of that? See that?
Yeah, that is. But why do you keep your laptops on? So that you can't just see how huge I am.
Plus, I need to refer to the information.
Also, because and look at this.
I want to look at that, baby.
You can't quite see the Star Wars. Well, you probably can see the Star Wars.
By the way, this is the iPhone. It's the MacBook Air 15-inch, and they've got a case that fits it precisely.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's just so exciting.
Really cool. It's these are right, and they sent me an email saying, "Look, would you like to have a look at the case?" So I went, "Yeah."
Stephen has never run so fast to the send button of an email.
They arrived, I think, on when did they arrive? I think the guy delivered them on a Sunday. It was a Sunday delivery, and by Monday they were on Tech Guide. That's the fastest I've ever reviewed anything that I've ever received. Yeah,
that's wild.
I thought I'm going to do this straight away. Yeah. So that's the PR people.
Fastest review you've ever done.
PR peeps, if you pitch me Star Wars, you know you're going to get a result.
Wow.
Star Wars
for comment.
Sydney.
Star Wars for comment. Someone call Media Watch. Hey?
I'm not alone in my love of the saga, the franchise.
So, we'll leave that for the private because there's collectible conversation I wanted to have with you just then. But we'll.
I watched, by the way.
That's what I mean.
It, smashed it. It was great.
Private feed later this week. We'll talk about it.
Didn't we talk about that last week in the private?
Yeah, but I want you.
The king of collectibles.
I recommended it to you last week. Now I want to know what you.
Mate, fantastic.
Okay, don't spoil it.
Yeah, fantastic.
All right, private feed's done. We're not doing it this week.
Yeah, we are.
Are we?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Will you give more information than just that?
I will go in depth, yes, of my thoughts and about the whole. It's like I don't want to give up the private now, but the whole collecting thing. It's a personality trait.
Yeah, no,
you're a
like
collector or not. Yeah. No, but yeah, and let's leave that for the private because I seem to have that gene.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, in spades.
Yeah, you do,
and it's I've
got it too. I'm just collecting the wrong stuff. Anyway, it's a good point. We'll discuss that in the private.
Most definitely.
But anyway, I'm very excited that you've got just Star Wars stuff to bring.
Well, that's part of the review, mate. Okay, if you want to read more about it, it's on Tech Guide. We're not going to talk about it on this show, which we have a little bit. But
no, I'll
if you
just
want
check
to
the
read
rundown.
about it,
No.
Yeah, there's a Star Wars free zone. Is that what you said before?
Yeah. Well,
it's
from the intro onwards, Star Wars free zone.
Go to the Tech Guide podcast. It's on the Tech Guide podcast.
He'll say the same stuff that you just said here. Why don't you just go to the website, techguide.com.au, and see the photos.
That too.
It'll be a 99.9%
And I took a
rating.
photo of every product too. I didn't cop the.
How many products did you get?
There was 7 or 6, 7, yeah. So there was like 4 cases, a couple of accessories.
He's put more effort into this than he
case.
has any content in the last 12 months.
That's not true. That's not true.
It feels that way.
I did also.
Is it like the highlight? Is it pinned on the site?
No. It's on. It's in the. It's not in the featured. It's in the editor's.
It's not
choice.
in the featured. Are you okay?
No, I'm good.
Wow.
The featured story is my review of the Orbi 970.
It's a cracker. Rolls Royce of mesh systems.
Oh man. Yeah.
You're doing the read today then?
Yeah. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Okay, fair enough. Right. Would you prefer we just got on with the show then?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm here for.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Welcome to Two Blokes Talking Tech
Not a bad price.
with Trevor Long from EFTM.com
Really handy device.
and Stephen Fennick from TechGuide.com.au.
Great to have your company. Episode 639 of Two Blokes Talking Tech.
639. Isn't someone going to say 639? We get it.
You're doing very well.
We're going to. How long we're going to just keep counting, aren't we? We're going to just keep going, or what?
Well, it's controversial because I don't have numbers on the EV show.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, because they're kind of timeless. But
I thought that originally, but then we've kind of pivot.
Yeah,
we've kind of pivoted a little into the talkback side of things. So
yes.
I feel like they do lose their evergreen nature.
Right.
So
yeah,
I don't know. You know what?
Well, I think we should hang in there.
Genuinely be happy with feedback on that.
Keep the numbers.
In reality, we're saying a number here.
Because you can keep track of it too. It's
also like Apple, the podcast app will show you a number if you don't put it on there.
Yeah.
They actually recommend you don't put a number. Is that right? Because it'll give you that.
Because I
you can do seasons and all that kind of stuff as well. But
yeah, we've got one massive season. If they say go binge this show, how many episodes? 639.
What if we broke it into 13 seasons?
Can you do that retrospectively?
Oh, I bet you can. It'd take some effort.
Could you?
It'd require paying someone because I'm not going to do it.
Year to year. So, right.
Yeah.
I think, is that worth doing that?
No, I don't think so.
Wouldn't you ruin kind of the SEO of it, like with the whole flow of it and its rankings and all that? Would that be affected if you did that?
I don't think so. Okay. Soon find out.
I don't think it's worth the trouble, just to be honest.
I agree. It's not worth the trouble.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
You get the podcast every week is the main thing.
Yeah. Well,
whether there's a number
6
on it
days of the week
or
here.
not. So, yeah.
Thanks to the great people at Netgear and Arlo. We will tell you about Netgear's Orbi 970 Wi-Fi 7 later on, and we'll talk about Arlo as well. Now, there's a bit of a story going around here. Wall Street Journal, I think, kicked it off with an exclusive, and it's got a bit of legs, and everyone with an opinion has chimed in. The basic principle of the story is, well, the headline, I'll read the headline from the Wall Street Journal. Apple, Meta, that's a funny way to say it. Why don't you say Apple and Meta? But anyway, Apple and Meta have discussed an AI partnership.
Yes.
That's the headline.
Yes.
Right? Now, my answer to that is, why would I pay whatever they want me to pay to read this when, of course, Apple and Meta have discussed an AI partnership?
Yeah.
But it got some leaked from there where there were people dissing the whole concept of this.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there were like in the lead up to Worldwide Developers Conference.
Yeah.
There was a feeling that Apple were playing catch up because Apple really
we said it here.
They say nothing, right? Okay, so there was one of the things that people assumed was that Apple is kind of the calm on the surface, the duck, but underneath they're going like crazy to try to have AI ready to go. Mm-hmm. Now, in this instance,
which they may well still be, given it looks like it's going to be some time.
They've got some time. Well, we discussed that last week that it could be till next year that we see it. So when they saw when that was the headline, you can interpret that however you want, and given the sentiment that was ahead of WWDC, there are a lot of people that assume that Apple went cap in hand to say, "Listen, we need to partner with you. We need your large language model. Let's play. Let's get together." But it's Mark Gurman from Bloomberg, who seems to have all the a secret sauce on Apple, doesn't
and
he?
you could say he's just writing whatever, but he does
is he
get it
is
right.
he gets leaked stuff? Is he the guy they leak
Clearly.
stuff to? Like, I'd love to have his contacts.
Oh, for sure.
But he's come out and said it was actually the opposite. It was Meta that sort of that were trying to partner with Apple, and it was Meta that Apple rejected. Apple rejected the partnership because of privacy issues.
No.
Now you can just imagine Facebook's motive for anything they do is for your data.
Yeah.
They want your data
To monetize it.
And Meta AI is just give us everything you're thinking about and everything you want, and hello, there's your data. So you can just imagine Apple's approach would be, we don't quite do it that way.
Yeah.
So that's what Gurman from Bloomberg was saying, that Apple actually said no deal.
I see it differently, okay, because I think that, let's be clear, all of these things are assumptions based on potentially
unless Tim Cook comes
scuttlebutt.
out and says it. Like,
Correct,
that's
right?
Yeah.
So, firstly, Apple and Meta have discussed an AI partnership. They definitely have. I'll put it on.
Yeah,
I'll put it out there.
of
They
course
definitely
would.
have.
Yeah, of course.
Did Apple reject Facebook because of privacy reasons? I don't think in full, yes. But I think the reason that Facebook or Meta AI isn't the lead AI integration is because of, I think it would have been a bad reputation and look for Apple, right?
Yeah.
But you have to remember, Craig Federighi made it very abundantly clear that and my explanation is a wall garden. You've got this garden, and inside it is you, your data, and iPhone. And the private cloud compute is part of that wall garden because it's private, it's secure, and it's not logged and registered. Anything you do within there, great, good. It's Apple's AI. It's Apple's privacy legislation. It's their philosophy. If you choose to accept Siri's invitation to go to ChatGPT, you're opening the door, you're leaving the wall garden, and you are at the whim of ChatGPT. There will be many more doors created. Yeah. You know, Google, Gemini, Meta AI, whoever the heck wants to, can and will create integrations with Apple Intelligence.
Maybe, yeah.
So I think that I think the truth is, because remember before DubDub, there was a lot of reports that they were going to partner with Google, that they brushed OpenAI and they're going to go with Google and all these kind of things.
Yep.
That's because Apple met with Google, right? Let's just play it out. They met with Google. They had a chat. They told them what they're going to do. And then someone at Google went, "Hey, listen, you wouldn't believe who was here today." Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And the story gets wings, right?
Of course, yeah.
So it's a seed
Yeah.
that grows into a story that's beyond control.
But you'd assume that Apple, being the size of the company it is, Google, the size of the company it is, Meta, the size of the company it is, of course they talk to each other.
They'd be mad not to.
They regularly communicate.
Yeah.
And in this instance, the subject was AI.
Same way as we often say at CES in January, Apple is not an exhibitor. There's nothing to show. But there are tens of employees of Apple walking the halls because they're mad not to be.
Of course, yeah. They're doing their homework.
Of course they spoke to Meta, Gemini, everyone.
They need to see the lie of the land. That was it. It just happens to be we're in a bit of an AI arms race at the moment where people are trying to have the best version and have the best on-device processing and all of this stuff happening. And, of course, Apple's going to entertain these other companies to see what's what. I think more than anything, it was more like a reconnaissance mission to see what they've got and what they can offer.
I think they would have sat down with, let's say just three. Let's keep it at three. ChatGPT, Google, and Meta AI. They sat down with all of them. Then they went back to the table and they went, what did we learn? And we learned that, you know what, Google is pretty strong on their privacy now, so that's good. But do people understand what Gemini is yet? Probably not. Yeah. Meta AI has, I think, better brand recognition in the AI consumer space than Gemini does. But ChatGPT is the king of AI right now. But we have this concern and that concern, so let's make sure that we explicitly talk about the walled garden approach and the exiting the Apple private secure model. Mate, I think there's truth to everything that's written in these kind of things, but I also think from every bit of truth, there's hundreds of words of pure and utter speculation.
Oh, for sure.
Thousands of which have been spoken here on this podcast, over 630. We have to speculate.
Yeah, of course.
We have no
because,
idea.
Well, Apple don't tell us. Do they? Apple don't just say, listen, Trev and Steve, here's what we're doing. They don't tell us that. They only tell us that after it's been announced.
Like you talked last week about how you sat and watched that State of the Union thing and those chats with Craig. You've got to really look and pay attention to those to try and even begin to read between the lines because they are savvy media trained people who are not letting go of an ounce of information.
But just on Meta AI, it's the fact that Apple is not going to be formally partnered with them.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you can't access Meta AI on an iPhone. Like if you've got WhatsApp, Facebook, it's there. You're there already, and so that's their play. They're kind of not quite the Trojan horse approach, but if you've got Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram, you've got Meta AI.
That's right.
So did they really even need to partner? Did this the non-partnership, did that really, I don't think that stopped Meta's progress 1 ounce.
No.
They're still moving ahead with, what is it, their Llama, that's their large language model, and it's open source too.
Yeah.
So, they don't seem to be, I don't think this has hindered them at all.
No.
But I think reputationally, I think Apple wanted to keep them at arm's length because they wanted to keep their AI pure.
Think about the hype around ChatGPT and how that was a risk. Like think about Elon, right? And the ridiculous hype he created, right?
Yep.
Now substitute ChatGPT and OpenAI in that keynote with Meta and go.
Would he have reacted the same way, you reckon? I don't think he would have.
You know what? I don't think he would have.
Oh, he might
because he's got a grudge.
It's not
because he's got a grudge, right?
Yeah.
But I think that actually more media would have gone, whoa, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Because, like it or not, Facebook's or Meta's value in the world is tinged by Cambridge Analytica or whatever those scandals were.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but for a fact that you're the product. We've said it for years. You're the product there. And the fact that now, of course, they're going to have that in all of their apps because they're basically telling you with Meta AI, it's a handy feature, but they're basically saying, with that feature, tell us all of your thoughts, tell us everything you want to know, tell us everything, and we'll see what we can do about that. You don't reckon they're storing that data and thinking, Trev's interested in drawing unicorns?
I'll be honest, I've not looked into it and how and what they're doing with the requests, but they're being logged.
You don't reckon they're monetizing that? You reckon they're not putting that data to work?
They'd have to be.
That's why it's there.
Let me ask you this. Meta. This is off topic, but broadly based around the same thing.
Yep.
Meta renamed, 2 years ago now? 2.5? They went from Facebook as being the brand that owns WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, etc.
Meta, yes.
To Meta because of the Metaverse.
Yeah.
How badly did they misjudge that?
I think pretty
badly.
badly.
Do you think right now they're going, God, we should have called ourselves AI? The Metaverse.
The Metaverse, yeah. Well, the Metaverse
may or may not become a thing.
Well, when they pitched that, it was around the time the Quest was coming out, and it was almost like a product push.
Yeah.
But I honestly, and I think I said this on the show at the time, the way they described the Metaverse, it made me sad. People sitting in a dark room, I was socialising through your little headsets, and it made me a little bit sad. I think, is that our future? We're going to sit in little pods and not actually communicate in person with people? Are we going to have this? And look, I asked, with the Vision Pros,
some of that with Vision Pro as well.
Pros around the corner, and it's a solo exercise. I think the FaceTime calls are all right, a little bit creepy, seeing that sort of rendering of the person. We've yet to experience that, but is that Apple's approach to it hasn't been quite as creepy. Apple's approach to it has been more, this is a computer that you use in a completely different way.
100% spatial computing.
Yeah.
But in the FaceTime sense, I was thinking about that. Like my mum now lives, 4 hours away, or still has always. But thinking about now she's retired. She's not working every day, right?
Yeah.
How could we connect her with the kids more? Look, she's got a phone. We could WhatsApp video call. We could give her a tablet. Would she put a headset on and look at them in a phone? No. I'm better off rigging up a camera onto her TV and making that the mechanism for it.
Totally.
Probably should do that, actually.
Yeah.
Is that easy to do? I've never tried.
You could do that, yeah.
Like, is Skype now available on,
connection?
Samsung TVs?
Yep.
Well, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That might be worth doing.
Why not?
So you could be Skyped in.
Well, I think
but
does Samsung even have an app for that? Or they might even
That's what I was going to say.
On
the Well, yeah, but then what's the ecosystem for me dialing them in and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, true that. Yeah.
But I'm yet to really believe in the Metaverse style approach to things, and I don't see Apple Vision
I
Pro
think
being a big use for that.
the way Meta described it at the time, it was like a collaborative tool. You collaborate, a lot easier to collaborate. And,
I
and
saw
there's
a-
virtual presence and all that sort of stuff.
I don't know how I'm going to find it now. I think I tried to save it and went, I don't know how I'm going to find this. And I said to myself, I hope it's just an easy to find app store on the Vision Pro when we get it.
Yeah.
But I saw a bloke who'd built like a Mario Kart style game that had Family Guy characters. So I assume he'd licensed it.
Wow.
And you controlled it by doing this.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And things like this to, I don't know, skid and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's someone that's gone, how can I use the hands? And can you imagine doing this in the lounge room and, all that kind of stuff?
Well, look, if there's a headset, it's funny. If there's a headset that's got any chance of cutting through the Vision Pro, because it doesn't have controllers, because
Mate,
our
we said this from the get-go.
mothers
Yes.
could put it on and is that how you do it? Easy, right?
Yeah.
So
Pinch your fingers and swipe. Okay,
without
got
that
it.
complication, it's a better chance of taking.
Well, let me ask you
But
this.
the price is a bit prohibitive.
Sure. But I think we both agree
Yeah.
that the long term has a lower end model
Yeah,
in it,
well,
right?
I read today actually just on that. I read today that I think there was
There's
a
been
report.
stories that they've stopped
stopped
production on thoughts on the next one.
Their thoughts of making it cheaper is to make your computer or your iPhone the computer. So it links to that, and that does all the heavy processing. So that way, this is just like a monitor for that.
I mean, they can use the
They can
iPhone
really cut the
wirelessly
price
to
down.
run not just CarPlay, but in future all car
I'm very
dashboards.
surprised that, as far as I know, there's no real connection with your
between the
iPhone.
two,
You
yeah.
don't need an iPhone to use it, do you?
I don't know.
You can look at your Mac and use that as your monitor.
You
but
don't need a Mac either.
there's
It can be independent.
Yeah, exactly right. But there's no real tie to. You don't need a link in your products.
Let me ask you this: Steve Jobs doing these ones on the screen, to show
And everyone
pinch and zoom.
Yeah.
That was remarkable, and now every phone does it. Right? It became a technique.
Yep.
At what point does Meta realize that Quest needs these?
Yeah.
Quest is great, but these controls have got to go.
I said it when I reviewed.
At what point is Meta doing
they've
these
got to.
ones?
I think they've got to. I remember I reviewed the Quest 3, and this was around the time when the Vision Pro had been announced and it was coming, and we'd already used it. And I think that my conclusion was that this is fantastic. They've just got to get rid of the controllers because it's something that is prohibitive to use. Like I remember giving it to Joe to use, and I said, "Here, you need to wear. This is your left hand.
Oh.
There's 3 buttons on that one, and a trigger. 4 buttons on that one, and a trigger." And she went, "That's too hard."
Yeah. Oh, mate,
so
try
she-
doing that
and
with
she gave
Carl
them back to me.
Stefanovic
Yeah, she
10
gave them back
seconds
to me.
before going on air. Because on the inside, you see the controllers
Yeah, you
on the
see
thing.
them in your hands,
so you
yeah.
know which is left and right. But
Yeah.
when you're handing them to someone, you don't know which is left and right.
Yeah, I know.
It's horrible.
It's hard. Yeah. And,
So-
and it's it really it affects the experience.
Fascinating.
And you only get one chance to make a first impression in this instance, and that one it's a bit
Geez, you
complicated.
did well with Joe to make
Yeah.
that first impression, though,
Well,
didn't
no,
you?
but she loved it.
No, I'm talking about you as a human being. The fact
course,
that you're still together after 57 years, what is it?
We've been married for nearly 32 years, but together for 37 years. Yeah. We met very young. We were very young when we met.
Was that legal?
Yeah, yes, it was. It was. Yeah.
Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Rightio. If you're under the age of 20,
Yeah.
you may have heard of this person. Right. If you're over that age, then you listen closely.
You've got
right?
kids
Listen
if you
closely.
have,
There's a YouTuber. Is he the biggest YouTuber on the planet?
Yeah.
He's got the most. What is he?
288
288 million followers. That's amazing. And his name's MrBeast. He's from Ohio, I understand. Kansas. That's in Ohio, isn't it? Or Kansas is Kansas a state?
Kansas
I don't
is
know.
a state.
He's a state. Okay.
Yeah. He's from
Anyway.
Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita Falls.
I think.
Anyway, MrBeast is in the country,
Yeah, he is.
and he's giving away 10
10 cars, yeah.
luxury cars.
They're used cars. Let's be real.
Still a car.
Like it's 2015 Tesla Model S.
Ooh.
So it's
Okay,
old.
that's old. That was older than my car.
Yeah, it's like the original. I think it's in his signature original color too.
Really?
But here's the thing. I do think I did an interview with 3AW at the start of the week, and Tom Elliott, the host, said he introduced me and he goes, "Mate, I've never heard of this bloke. Who is he?" And that wasn't him trying. That was him. I could hear it.
Yeah.
And I said, "Mate, with respect, if you don't have teenagers or kids, 18 or less, you wouldn't know him. But I said on air this week, like, you might have heard his voice in the background because like I can tell what kids, I know what channel the kids are watching on YouTube because I know their voices, right? Because if I hear an unfamiliar voice on the TV, I'm like, what are you watching? Because
Radar ears.
I check what they're watching.
Trev's got super hearing.
This bloke, his name's Jimmy Donaldson. He's 26.
Yeah.
He makes in YouTube revenue a year $1 billion.
Doing very, very,
Reckons
very well.
He's not rich because he puts all that money back into the videos.
I heard that. I heard he's also, but not only that, he's also very charitable.
Yeah.
And he's trying to, in his home state, to rid the state of poverty.
Wow.
He wants to get rid of homeless people off the streets, and good luck to him.
Yeah. Look, he is, you got to say, he's almost faultless. So one of the team members in his team,
faultless.
and well, no, I just don't know. Like, he's only 26, so he could stuff up, but like it's this extreme, right? He's got one of his, he's got a gang of blokes that have been with him all the time.
Got a production crew,
One of just mates that are in the videos and stuff. One of them, whose name I think is Chris.
Yep.
Has gone through a transition and is now identifies as a woman, right? Okay. So full transition, the whole kit, right? It's unbelievable. And he is like this person now and I believe their name is still Chris but with a K now. Look, forget Chris. Sorry, new name Ava. Okay.
Ah, okay.
I know
is that
off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
And
Chris can be a girl's or boy's name.
True. But I think it's now Ava Chris. Anyway, I was because I was doing some research earlier in the week and I was looking at different people, and like I was really impressed with MrBeast because like this person doesn't with them every day anymore. They're not in every video, but they still work with them. But they were getting smashed on Twitter like you're a disgusting human. You left your wife and child, and what is this bull and stuff like that. And MrBeast replied to one of these people going, listen, Ava's one of the nicest people I know, spends more time wanting to be with family and missing out on the trips and the things that we do to be with their child and yada, yada, yada. Like,
don't judge. Yes.
Super supportive of a mate. Like, that's
of course
what you want in mates,
right?
If
you transition, I'd be supportive of you too.
I would hope so.
There you go. And vice versa.
I would definitely be there for you.
You'd still be my mate.
It'd be a wild thing to do at your age.
It'd be awkward if we're overseas alone and that's
This is going to be a problem.
Yeah. What are you pointing at? Oh, yeah. Hey. Yeah. Two persons talking tech, I mean. Yeah.
Anyway,
all right, there's our social clip anyway, right there.
My point is, he just genuinely seems like a nice bloke.
Absolutely.
So the other way I know that, he's in town. He does a video at the start of the week. So I'm at Opera House and doing this. He's promoting Woolworths Feastables, his chocolates, which I went and bought 4 of to enter the competition for my kids and didn't win.
Yeah.
And
so
you
already know. It's happened. Yeah, it's already happened.
By the time you're hearing this, he's recorded his big thing on Wednesday. He's given away the cars. Because I'm a narc with competitions. Okay. I really am. Yeah. On Monday,
got to be in it to win it.
No, when I heard about this, I went, you can't do what he normally does in America in Australia. You can't just say, I'm going to give 10 cars away. You have to have terms and conditions in Australia, right? So there has to be T's and C's. So I went and looked for the T's and C's, found them, and found the list of cars and everything, right? Yeah. And that, mate, went unbelievable because everyone was searching for it. So Monday was a very good day for EFTM.com. But the T's and C's are actually quite wild. And I don't know how this plays out in the video he makes, if he's even making a video. Because I said to Harry, mate, I don't think this will be a video. I think this is just Woolworths and him spending a couple of million to promote his thing, right? That's all it is. Yep. But you normally think MrBeast is going to be like a competition, like a reality show versus game show. Yep. But the terms and conditions are basically first person to get chosen as a winner gets first choice down through 10. Okay. So they get there and it's first through 10.
It's first in best dress sort of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. So if you were the first person picked in the game on the phone on Monday, you're it. Right. Anyway, I look at him and I go, mate, you've got to give him great respect, but I've watched a lot of interviews with him and he is pretty down to earth. Yeah. He reckons he knows the YouTube algorithm. He knows how to make it work. He reckons he could he could grow from 0 to 1 million in a year or whatever. He says things like that. I just don't believe that to be 100% true because I think YouTube does have this absolute favor for the channeled content that is extremely popular because it's programming. It's like Channel 9 going, we're going to stick with The Block, Married at First Sight. Yeah. We're going to do our things. He teamed up, when he comes here, he came and teamed up with Laserbeam, who's a gaming YouTuber. Yeah. He went to Perth and they may have come here.
And
collab with their guys at How Ridiculous, who my kids love as well.
Yeah, right.
So he's smart, mate.
He's savvy.
I've got to be
savvy.
honest, for a 26-year-old, you only hope your kids are that smart.
Yeah, well, I think, you said he's a nice guy. I don't think you get 280 million followers if you're not a nice guy. They must like him.
Well, his videos are about giving money away, right?
Yeah, and his videos, there's like not stunts. There's like they do things and it's like a project. Every video is a big project.
He spends a lot of money. A lot of money on his videos.
And that's an attraction, isn't it? You want to see, it's that sort of wish
people
fulfillment
win
sort
money.
of thing. Wish fulfillment.
I described it to Tom Elliott as the mix of reality show meets game show.
Someone described him as the YouTube Oprah.
That's
Oprah
close,
of
yeah.
YouTube, you get a car, He does that for the kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but isn't it? So here's the other thing I read. His mum manages his money.
Smart. Is she an accountant or something?
No, he's just like she looks after things. But also, I was watching Howie Mandel. You know Howie Mandel?
Yep.
He did a studio tour of MrBeast. Like he bought.
He's got like a warehouse.
He bought like a 100-acre property. I don't know how big, massive property.
Yeah.
So the warehouse is in the middle, and people there's
keep the distance.
There's distance, buffer zone.
Yeah.
Massive. So Howie Mandel's walking through, and mate, this bloke lives at the warehouse, and I'm telling you, his room is smaller than this office.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not kidding you. He lives his bed. It's all there.
He's obviously a man of. He's rich. He'd have money, but he's not really showy.
Yeah, not at all.
He's just really down to earth.
He's done a deal with Amazon Prime. They're doing 30-minute TV shows.
Wow.
So a lot of his recent videos, if you watch them, he did this big one. It was like Deal or No Deal, this whole thing.
Yeah.
But it was very long. I said to Harry, this is very long. And he goes, yeah, he's testing it out for the Amazon Prime show. I'm like, how do you know that? But so he's testing out how, because he can see the analytics. Do people keep watching? What keeps them watching? Like he's trying to now work out.
Mate, his game.
What's going to work for Amazon?
The system. He's playing the system as it should be played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, I have huge respect for him.
Yeah, wow. Well, you don't get to 280 million without being
it's a wild
pretty
number.
smart.
Wild number. So
if you think about like other YouTubers, like Marquez Brownlee's got like 19 million.
Yeah.
That's MrBeast's. That's his little toe.
Yeah. He gets MrBeast gets 100 million views per video easily.
Wow. The algorithm would be the
he tries new thumbnails every day. He changes the thumbnail on a video almost daily.
Is that right? So it doesn't stay the same.
A/B testing, checks out what's working best. Yeah.
Well, if you got the means, then why not?
He was for a time. Yeah. He had a second channel called MrBeast Spanish. And he would he would pay Spanish people to revoice his videos. Now this is how powerful
he
is.
AI now.
This is how powerful he is. I said to Harry, mate, he's got other channels. The 288's just that. He goes, no, they're all in one channel now. So YouTube now has a language selection feature. I would think because he needed it. So because they didn't want him to create these multiple channels and audiences.
So it's not subtitles, it's actual another language.
Yes.
So but
choose the audio.
It dubs it.
He creates it. He's got to upload the Spanish version.
Right.
And it makes it available to people.
Wow.
Like he said in an interview.
That's attention to detail,
look,
isn't it?
we do all our shows in English, whereas Spanish is the most spoken. I don't know what it is, but it's a spoken language in the world. Why wouldn't we be doing it in there too?
Yeah.
So boom, creates a whole new audience in Spanish.
The US, a lot of Spanish is a lot of Spanish.
But even outside of the US, you think about South America and Europe. There is huge markets.
And his videos have very high production value too. There's a lot of work. Well, he can afford it. There's a lot of production going into it.
Mate,
imagine the planning. He'd have to plan like well ahead.
Oh, well, this Sydney thing alone, when you see the construction they had at the Opera House, that is a
that's not
massive
easy just
install.
to say. That's not easy to do either. It'd be
now they would have outsourced all that. Would have said, listen, the budget is this.
Or to get permission to do it. First of all.
Woolworths would have handled it all because it would have been done locally.
Of course. Yeah.
But like. It's just massive. It really is. And the kids love it. Like Harry was so pumped when I brought Feastables home. Just so pumped.
Okay.
It's like, good on you, Dad. Did you enter?
This is a type of chocolate that he's endorsing.
And different flavours. He bought it. No, this is the other thing. It's his brand.
His brand.
Yes.
That's now being sold through Woolworths.
Again, watch the Howie Mandel interview because he talks about this very quickly. He goes, over on the wall is a list of chocolate companies. And how there's something about them, like how much they're worth or how much they spend on marketing.
So is he Willy Wonka too?
Basically, yeah. He just wants, he wants this. Wow. He's creating a business.
Of all the things he could have created, does he have a clothing line?
He sells heaps of merch. Yeah. He had, I don't know if he still does it. There was MrBeast Burger, like a burger joint, which was kind of like a franchise, I think. And then the
Oh,
Feastables.
so he had his own burger
Yeah,
franchise.
still does, I
Wow.
think.
MrBeast.
But the Feastables is like, with Logan Paul and Prime, the drink. It's the same thing. Where what they're saying is we've got this massive following. We don't need to spend money on TV
We're
ads.
doing you a favour.
We're just gonna sell it. And so you're
Exactly.
mad if you're Woolworths and you don't range this.
Absolutely, yeah. It's, but it is an eye opener though. There's, I reckon, so many of these like MrBeast, Logan Paul. They are household names among the kids.
Yeah.
But adults don't know who the hell they are.
No. And just think about scale, right? The biggest event in Australia this year will be the Olympics. Opening ceremony or swimming gold medal might get 4.5 million viewers on TV, right? Might get more, whatever.
Yeah.
Globally, there might be 100 million people watch that.
Yeah.
He gets 100
gets that
million
per
people
video.
watching
Yeah,
him blow
per
up
video.
a bus.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Is that
Like,
what
can we just park for a minute
Yeah.
the distorted reality that is the content age we're in? Like, we grew up in a time, I said this today on the radio, I remember a time when sport, because I was talking about Amazon Prime having the cricket, I remember a time when you couldn't watch the cricket test if you lived in Sydney if the SCG wasn't sold out.
Yeah, true.
Now,
I remember that.
the cricket's on Amazon Prime and everywhere in the world can watch it. Like, it's just,
changed,
mate, we are so old.
Yeah, I remember the blackouts. I remember because
It was hugely controversial
when
too.
we lived in Maroubra, because our house was.
Let me guess, you'd pick up Wollongong.
Yes.
Yes, dog.
So no, because our house,
I knew it.
our big house, my old man when I lived at home, was up on the top of the hill, looking down over Maroubra Beach all the way to La Perouse. Beautiful views we had, but we had a massive mast on the antenna too.
Yeah.
We could pick up the gong.
Yeah.
So we'd get it. We'd get the.
Yeah.
the
I
cricket.
can imagine your Maltese dad going, "Yeah, I want the biggest mast."
No, we just had it, I guess. But we were in a position where, like, we could see Wollongong from our house. We were up that high, so that was that got us around the blackout.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an
That was
interesting.
the '80s version of a VPN.
Yeah.
What we did. We did that.
Well, in Griffith, it was you only got MTN 9 and Prime 7 or the ABC.
Yeah.
And there was some people that got SBS because they had a bigger antenna and it had pointed like Wagga or somewhere. Same, but we had literally two
got
channels.
all the channels, mate.
Yeah,
we
well,
got all
mate,
the channels.
I didn't grow up with all the channels.
Yeah, I grew up with all the channels.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I even had I had, remember back in the day, they had the little Casio portable TVs.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
Yeah, I've still got one.
I
Doesn't work,
I
obviously.
still remember, because at my place, I could pick up, I had the best reception, right? I remember watching the Grand Prix when I was in Adelaide on this little TV in my backyard at home. Thinking, I said,
Why is this happening?
I'm watching TV and I'm outside. It's crazy, right? Now, look, we take it for granted. We've got phones now, but that was great. That was because we had the gun reception.
I wonder how. See, this is another idea for Netflix or a TV show. Anyway, is I think it needs to be documented, but not in a National Film and Archives style. Back in the day, I think there's a documentary in speaking to people, real people, about remembering,
simpler times. Yeah,
like tell your grandkids, or tell this how I did.
Isn't that a show already where grandkids are sort of showing young kids stuff?
This is what I'm doing. I'm creating.
Let's develop something.
I'm creating
right here, Trev.
something. Yes, I'm creating a concept that is built. It's filmed today with a 10 to 50 year lifespan, right?
Yeah.
So I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
You're one of the subjects, and I say to you, Stephen, tell your grandkids. Because you don't have any, right? I'm telling you to project
so like a little time capsule
to the next generation.
Yeah.
Tell them what it was like watching the rugby league when you were at school.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, frankly, you just do it. What's it like now?
Do we have a deal with Netflix yet, mate, or what? Let's get a deal.
We probably shop at a stand first.
Okay. Well, that's you got to look after your employer,
of course.
There you go. One of your employers, but I think that's a great idea. But I think there is reminiscing about those experiences, about how we got stuff done.
Yeah.
Like I saw a funny little billboard which said, "Kids, respect your parents. They pass school without Google."
Yeah,
which is true.
Yeah,
I know I did.
They did maths without maths notes.
You had it too. You didn't have
I
Google.
didn't have Google. We had Funk and Wagnalls, mate.
I had the World Book. I was a World Book man.
I would have taken you for a Britannica family.
No, World Book, mate. And mate, I tell you what, I'm such a nerd that I remember we used to get we had the full set of encyclopedias, and we also used to get the yearbook. Like every year would be all the events and everything that happened.
Oh wow!
So it supplements the encyclopedia.
Well, I'm pretty sure my sister has my mum's National Geographic collection. That's about as much as I go.
Good.
I just remember the bookshelf with the yellow.
Yeah.
Just yellow binders.
Yeah, the World Book was available in, I think it was tan, so they're brown, but we had the light beige and the brown band. But the yearbooks, when they came in, they had these tabs, right, that you tear off, and they had a sticky. So you'd say the subject was the space shuttle. In 1981, the first space shuttle launch. You'd go to the section and put in that tab, stick it in the main encyclopedia, and it says, for more information, refer to World Book 1981.
So it's like a Wikipedia edit.
It's like a link. It's like an internet link, but a physical link, right? So the yearbook would make the main encyclopedia more up to date. It'd link you, if you want to find out more, go read this part.
I
wish I still had those. They would be so valuable today.
I wish I had a memory. Like I genuinely do. Like I think about the yellow page. I've got one somewhere here. I don't know where it is.
Yellow pages.
The internet yellow pages. The internet yellow pages.
Yeah, we've got one. We both got one.
Have we? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I've got one. I can bring it in.
That's I've got one here somewhere. Yeah, it's here somewhere. Like that's a wild thing.
Remember that.
In all the boxes, we've actually cleared the garage out on the weekend because we're getting new garage doors. And I've got these like 6 or 7 boxes. Amanda doesn't really know what's in them. And a lot of them I've got clippings. No, I've got clippings.
So your penthouse collection.
You know what the soup was this morning on the Today Show?
The soup.
You know how
I saw that. Yeah, what was it? It was chicken and corn. I'm surprised you never made a point of that. I'd say, Carl, here's some chicken and corn for you, brother. And he'll go, what? Yeah.
Anyway,
chicken and corn.
I've got like printouts from. It's definitely the Daily Telegraph sports section. There may be one, not printouts, actual copies. Yeah. There may be one of the Connect lift out because in 90, I don't know what year.
Connect lift out started 2003.
Okay, well, it's not Connect then, it's a sport lift out. And there's definitely another insert. It might have been the guide or something.
I was working in sport then.
It was probably the guide. But anyway, I'd had like my Candela Motorsport website where you had like the Bathurst results and they put that in the friggin' newspaper. And it's aussiemail.com.au/tilde Candela. Like it's /motorsport. It's like, who puts an address like that in print? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you think TV and you go, listen, kids, just so you know, when we got our first VHS recorder, it had a cable.
Yeah.
Like we were sitting across the room with a cable for the remote. Like,
do you remember too when and this was my skill when I was a kid. Like I was always tech savvy as a kid, right? I was always the one who worked out how to program the video recorder and that was my job.
Which was hard.
And I remember there was I think it was a National Panasonic VCR.
That's what we had.
Yeah, so did I. But there was one that had there was a guide you could buy.
The G code?
That had the code, yeah. So
remember the TV guide still had a G code in it?
The G code. So you scan, this one is scan the code. There was one that was had like a barcode, and you just go, I want to watch that. So you get the remote and go whip it across the barcode. And it was ahead of its time.
No, because I remember.
And it would record it.
Because you'd have this problem of, setting the start and finish time, and then you'd have the programs run over time.
Yeah.
But then in the TV guide, they added like a 6-digit code, and that was somehow unique to that time slot channel and everything.
And
so you would do that,
thing.
and it would just record the show.
That was a marvel, wasn't it? A marvel. I remember. I'll tell you how fanatical I was. I remember when there was something I wanted to record, and I was at work. At least when I was still living at home, I'd ring up and say to them like, "Shit, you know how you can record one channel and watch another." So my mum would be there. The tape would be in the machine, and I'd ring up and say, "Righto, mum, hit record now," and she'd just say, "Okay," and she's watching something else, but I'm watching that channel at work. She's like, "I want to record that from now." So that's how crazy we were. And I said, and then I just said to her, just let it run. So it just record all night. Yeah, 180, it'll go all night. Yeah,
320 or something. What's going on?
It was
there?
a
240s.
It was a 180. I think it was a 3-hour tape, and it would. I'll tell you what it was. The show. I'll tell you the show. It was the young ones. Remember that show? It was used to be on the ABC.
Neil.
Yeah, that was the show. And it was that's before on demand,
blimey.
mate. Before it came out on
Anyway,
disc and
that's
stuff.
our idea for a documentary. We are willing to take offers starting at 1 million.
So many,
Plus production costs.
Yeah, so many things. Like,
Don't you think that'd be great?
Yeah, it would.
And
be
it doesn't
amazing.
have. I think you would mix it with obviously high-profile people, and then just
what you tell your grandkids.
what's the movie?
How you did it,
What's the movie which I was really gutted about, where they interviewed old people, which weren't real?
When Harry Met Sally.
When that's the
You
interview.
mentioned it only about 8 times on the show that you were
was so
disappointed.
annoying.
Yeah,
But those interviews,
but
with real people,
well,
not
they
scripted.
were real stories.
I don't care,
but they were
Stephen.
actors. Yeah,
I want real people, real stories.
But
That's
they
what
were
I'd be
real
in the documentary.
stories, and they were just
You know
conveyed
what I'm saying?
by
You
actors.
interview people like that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think it'd be cool.
Amazing.
I think it'd be
and
cool.
you know what? I used to love hearing my dad talk about stuff like that when how they did stuff. When he was in the army, when he was growing up, when he was in the scouts, and when he was playing his bugle and all that kind of thing. It's fascinating. That's why I encourage kids talk to your grandparents.
Yeah.
Talk to your grandparents. Your mum.
I said I was going. I think I'll get mum up and I'll just sit here one day and just talk.
Yeah.
Hit record.
Yep.
She'd
have a lot of stories, mate.
Oh, mate, and stuff I'd never have heard.
Yeah. I think there's probably shows already that do that, but I think
I'm telling you,
it's a good
recapping
it's a good one.
how we did stuff.
Yeah,
there you go. That's
how
the
you
name
got
of it.
stuff done.
Yeah,
how we did it. How we did it.
How we did it. How we did it. Yeah.
Like the kids are going.
Coming soon to a streamer near you. How we did it. Executive producers Trevor Long, Stephen Fennick.
Yeah, we're open to offers.
Are we?
I reckon that's a really good idea.
Mate.
How we did it. Yeah, this is again live on air. We're just creating
Unbelievable.
shows. We did it with the movie podcast. We just and it just happened. This could be the same.
I don't have time for
Could
it
be
right
the
now,
same.
but we'll see what happens. Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Everything about tech you never wanted to know. This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Two Blokes Talking Tech, proudly supported by Arlo. And if you haven't got an Arlo product, I think you should get a move on, because these are the products that can help keep your home secure. You do want that peace of mind. And the thing about there is the product, the cameras, the doorbells, the floodlights, but there's also the Arlo Secure Plan. So this is the way you can save 30 days of video and event recordings from anywhere. So it saves it. You can view it from anywhere. You can also have smart alerts as well. Like I think when I arrived here, that was from your Armour. You could have alerts. So say when I arrived here, Trevor wasn't here. Yeah, I arrived before Trevor today. He could have had an alert, and you probably did, to say, there's a vehicle on your property. So when my car was there,
100%.
Vehicle. Or you could have a notification for a person or an animal, or if you're expecting a package as well. The other good thing about having the secure plan is that you can also make those notifications. You can choose where you want the movement notifications to happen. So say you've got your camera aimed in your front door and it catches a little bit of the street, some trees in the background. If you have the secure plans, you're able to then say, look, I only want movement in this area. I don't want every car going past. I don't want every tree swaying in the breeze. That's what I want. So all of these things add up to making that product even better, much handier than just being able to look at a live view of the camera, which you can do anyway. So the secure plans, they start at about $7.99. That's for a single camera. And then you can go to $12.99, and that's for unlimited cameras as well. There's also the Secure Plus plan, which allows for 4K recordings as well. That's $17.99 a month, and that's for unlimited cameras. You want having 4K resolution, that added detail helps you see faces, number plates, all that important information that you may need in the event of a report or so, a police report you might have to file. So, look, there is one thing too. You get all your cameras, you have your doorbell, but having that secure plan as well really makes the whole system even better. Check it out at arlo.com.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Mate, September last year, Facebook, I can't call them Meta, it's so hard, announced the new generation of their Ray-Ban glasses. So the original glasses that Facebook made were called the Ray-Ban Stories.
So when did you say that was? September last year?
It was September last year.
Yep.
The Ray-Ban Stories. Now, these were cool. They were glasses that had speakers, so you could play your music through them. Yep. You could also record video. It was pretty cool. Yep. And that's what they did. Done. And they were awesome at it. And I've still got a pair. They're great.
Yep.
Ray-Ban Meta was the second generation. So they're called Ray-Ban Meta. And these are next level different because, yeah, they've got the cameras, they've got the audio, but they're connected in much deeper way to your phone. So I remember I went and bought them because Facebook still hasn't sent us anything to review. I did a lot. So big thing is when you're on Instagram, so you go live on Instagram,
Yep.
when they're paired, you can just press the glasses and it's the glasses feed that is the
that's your
live feed, right?
right.
Yeah,
Come
so
on, and
everyone watching is seeing what you're
So
seeing.
it's POV.
Yes, and
Literally
you
POV,
hear,
point of view.
you hear little dings as people join. You do hear comments and things like that.
And that just goes till as long as you hit stop? Or?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So good.
Wow.
Really cool.
Okay.
And then there's Meta AI, and that was the big selling point of these things, Meta AI. Now, it launched initially in the US, and there's a small feature of it came to Australia where you could essentially voice control the glasses. So you could say,
Yes.
hey, Meta, take a photo. Ching, takes a photo.
Yep.
Hey, Meta, record a video, etc. But Meta AI, the real kind of feature of it, only in the US. Now, I don't know whether something happened to my phone, but I got it this week.
Right.
I've had a couple of people say it's not working for me. I think they're on Android, so it may only be iPhone.
Ooh, okay.
But this is very cool, mate. Now, it's still creepy to people, but let's just park that for a moment, right? What I can now do from my glasses, right? I can be I did this yesterday. I drive my car and I can go, hey, Meta, take a photo and post to Instagram.
Yep.
Drive along. It goes, chick, and then it goes, do you want to post that to your Instagram story? I go, yes. And mate, it's
Boom.
on the story.
It's there.
It's done. It's
Just the
posted.
photo. I saw it, and there's no
Just a photo.
you can't add text or
Can't add
anything,
text or anything.
location.
You're
It's
driving. It
a
just
photo.
happens automatically,
Yeah,
right?
wow, yeah.
But here's what gets wild. Now, I took a screenshot of this, and I'm pretty sure I posted it. I don't know if you saw this, but I stood here.
Yeah, I did now, and you were asking.
And I said, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
And it said, you're looking at a podcast recording studio with 2 microphones, cameras, and other equipment. And I lost my mind. That was one of those moments where I went, stop, I got to find my camera. I got to make a TikTok. I just immediately made that was so wild to me. When I asked it again, it didn't say the same thing. It said you're looking at a recording studio for the Two Blokes Talking Tech.
All right,
because it read the screen. I was at netball, pouring rain under the umbrella. I said, hey, Meta, what am I looking at? And I'm going to tell you exactly what it said. You're looking at a netball game being played on an outdoor court. Americans don't know what netball is.
Did it mention the rain as well or not?
No, it didn't mention the rain.
Okay.
I held up your little figurine. You're looking at an R2-D2 figure. Like, mate,
Wow.
it's wild. Now,
What about if you looked at me? What would it say?
you're looking at a handsome man?
But would it know me? It wouldn't know who I am.
No, it doesn't know who you are. I did one where I had the 2 of the kids standing at the front, and it said, you're looking at 2 people standing in front of a residential area.
Oh, right. Not your children.
No.
Right.
But here's the thing.
That'd be creepier if it said, oh, they're your kids.
True.
How do you know that?
True.
Yeah.
So
Do
I
you
had
think
a
it's
call,
it could get to that point, though, don't you reckon?
in theory, maybe.
Could do.
It could
like
do.
facial recognition?
I had a call, it's got to be 2 months ago, on the EFTM podcast from a guy who was blind, visually impaired.
Yes.
And he lives in Queensland. And
Yep.
I don't remember how we got onto it, but I said, mate, like, I'm just going to stop you. I know. So I bought him an iPhone because he had an iPhone 14 and it didn't have all those, accessibility features.
Yeah.
I said, man, I want to know more about it. And he said it's only in the Pro model or something. So I bought him an iPhone 15 Pro and I bought him these glasses, right? Had them shipped straight to him.
Yep.
He's a blind man, right?
Yep.
And he was interested in this concept. I am out of my skin to talk to him in the next couple of weeks when I get time, because he's a blind man that can stand, look at something and say, what am I looking at? And get some form of description.
Yeah.
Now, I've tested, there's a product called Orcam, which you clip onto your glasses, or you can buy glasses.
I've written about that.
And it's unbelievable.
Yes.
It reads the
It reads
newspaper
for you.
for you,
It
right?
reads for you, yeah.
Now that's a next level thing, right?
Yep.
But just in a $450 pair of glasses paired
Pretty
to a
good.
phone,
Pretty good.
to be able to stand at a shop, you could definitely stand in front of JB's and say, where am I?
It'll
What am I
say
looking at?
JB
It'll say
Hi-Fi.
JB Hi-Fi.
Yeah. Because those Orcams are like 7,000 or something. They're
Yes.
very expensive.
Yes.
So the Metas are like $490.
$450 or something, right?
Yeah, wow.
It's wild.
That's amazing.
What is
and
the
that's
purpose?
AI. That's AI, isn't it? Artificial intelligence reading stuff like
What
that.
is the purpose of this? Mate, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I said to it, I was watching the Formula One. I said, I said, look and caption this view. It said, race days here, #Formula One,
Really?
#racing.
Did that too?
Now, it didn't post that anywhere. I don't know if that's been set up that I can post it to something with the captions.
I look forward to doing that with the ones Meta are sending me.
You could just stump up and buy some, you cheap ass.
Well, you ask first, mate. If they don't, I'll buy it.
It's been 6 months or more.
Oh, well, why didn't they send it to me before?
Because they're useless. I think it's probably because they didn't feel like it had the features over the previous model.
Yeah.
Because really the only difference in the previous model was a bit of voice control and going live on Instagram.
Yeah. Had a few things happening in my life about that time. I wasn't really aware of all that stuff.
But it's I don't know where this goes, and I get the creepiness and all that stuff. When it's live, it shows the light and all that kind of stuff. And they're much smarter now. If you cover up the lens with a sticker, it says the lens is covered.
Oh. But you remember the first one, did it have a little indicator light? With a red light or
white light?
White light.
Flashes.
Now it's a red light.
Nope, it's a white light that flashes.
Really?
Yeah.
So in the daylight, you're good.
No one's going to see. Mate, if I'm talking to you and recording, you'll notice.
You'll know, yeah, right.
100%.
But if you're walking down the beach, a sunny day,
but it's
no one's going to know,
mate. If you're walking down the beach on a sunny day, looking at your phone like this, and doing this, people won't know that you're filming.
Yeah, okay.
Like, let's be real.
How do you know that? You've tried that, have you?
Let's
you were
be
down
real.
at Maroubra Beach that day.
I've never been to Maroubra Beach in my life.
Haven't you really?
Nope.
Why the hell not?
Because I don't care for beaches.
Okay. You're more an indoor man. Is that right? You should come down the beach. It's a beautiful spot, mate.
What, are we going swimming together?
We'll go have lunch there one day. Seriously. And you know what?
Will I get bashed by the Bra Boys?
I'll swing you by my mum's house, my mum and dad's house.
Oh, I'll go and say to Doris.
Say good day to Doris. Yeah. Take it. Seriously, we'll do that. I want you to see their place. They got a really nice house. It's right on the water. It's
you know
great.
what I want to see?
Yeah.
I want to see the house on the hill. Is that still there?
Yeah.
I definitely want to see that.
Mate, I'll take you there too.
Because when you describe that to me, and again, not to bring you to another place.
It from the beach. Yeah.
Not to bring you to another place, but when you described that at your father's funeral, it was like it was emotive to me because you described it as this block of land he would visit, and he always said he wanted to own it, and then he did, and I just went, that is wild.
We used to sit there we used to get like barbecue chicken or something, have lunch there.
He predated Oprah's vision board.
Yeah, he did, mate.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, mate.
But that's
he knew what
wild.
He wanted. Yeah, that's right.
He'd take you there for picnics, and then he bought the land.
And then when it became available,
because it was Crown land originally.
Crown land, and when as soon as it was available, he got the block. And I remember him saying that he sold. I think they sold their house. We were living in Botany at the time. For what he sold the house, the whole house sold. That was the cost of the land. So he sold a house to buy the land, and then had to build a house on that.
Yeah.
Wish I had a time machine. I'd go buy 8 blocks if I could.
So I'll take that. We'll do lunch and a little Maroubra flashback.
I'll take you to my stomping. It'll be the visiting Steve and stomping ground.
Yeah. We're going to need a few weeks to do mine. Condor Park, Griffith, Humpy Bong. We're going to need some airplane tickets,
mate. I want to go to. No, I'll tell you what we do. Right, we go to Maroubra for me. We go to Humpy Bong for you. I want to see where your formative years, Queenslander. I want to see where this all happened. I still love that post that Rog Rigby sent me. Funniest thing I've ever seen. The little photo of you where Trevor Long from the Today Show went to school. That's funny. Rob, shout out, mate. Very well done.
You idiot. Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Now, you know what, Trev?
Yeah.
Big TVs at the go, mate. Go big or go home. And at Samsung, I wrote a little. It was a funny little
give yourself
research
a rap.
About.
I did that as well.
The TV envy,
but it's true.
Yeah, like people thinking. I think the stats are 46% of people have TV envy because they go to see a mate's. They go to a mate's house, a family member, and they.
So we went to Seinfeld. Yeah. So that day, I flew Flipsy down from Brisbane, and he caught a train to Hornsby.
Right.
And
you didn't pick him up? Jesus,
we were having lunch with Arnie Shell, and I invited him to come lunch, and we thought it was a bit awkward. So I went and picked him up at Hornsby, and we went home to get the kids and the people that were coming, right? He goes, can I use the Brasco? He goes, and then he comes down and he goes, holy hell.
He saw
my TV.
Yeah.
And I went, mate, how good is it? And the next day, Samsung released that survey data about TV envy, and I went, it's true. I did it all week on the radio. I'm like, this is real.
This is what happens.
So then I sat down, I went out to Samsung's office because they can't exactly bring 98-inch TVs to review,
they
right?
could. It just takes a bit of time.
Yeah. And I sat down for a couple of hours, and normally with these TV reviews, I firstly don't like doing them in offices.
I prefer a hotel room. But my choice.
I'd prefer them at the office here.
Yes.
Anyway, there was a vast number of reasons why I agreed to do this, and I sat down and I said to him, I'm going to need an hour, I'll be gone. I was there for like 2.5 hours because I played a bit of Fortnite, watched a bit of King of Collectibles. I watched
Star
Top Gun
Wars.
Maverick again, like
Wars.
60% of it.
Yeah. Did you really?
Yeah.
I've got my go-to
I watched the
movies
start and then the end bit where they're going through the canyons. It's great for sound.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
It's great for sound.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's the thing.
Because the sound bar was with it.
Yeah, soundbar and rear speakers.
Yeah, nice.
98-inch, big TV, beautiful. But here's my takeaway. It was fascinating, and I really do want you to see this TV because I had this phenomenon.
I'm trying to get in.
I had this phenomenon where, and I'll show you the pictures I took because it's very hard when you're doing a review of a TV. And I will try and put these in the video. Sorry, they're on EFTM.com. I always forget. When you look front on at something, beautiful. Blacks are great, whites are great. When you came in on an angle, there was the blooming of the white, right? Yeah. And I kind of went in a bit deeper and went, okay, so closer. Definitely no blooming front on. But on an angle, it's like, I don't know, it's like there's channels that are preventing the blooming when you're front on, but side on there was a bit of blooming.
And so this is, just to be clear, a
Mini LED.
Mini LED. So it's a Neo QLED
4K. Yep.
98,
Mini LED.
98 inch.
And let me be clear.
Not
you
8K, 4K.
4K. You had to be on an extreme. This is not something that would be a viewing angle problem in most lounge rooms. I was on an extreme angle, but I was fascinated by looking at this kind of pixel density, right?
Yeah.
But all of that aside, great TV. But here's the kicker, right? I think the day before I went there, I had a call on the EFTM podcast and you love these bloody calls and they ring me, go, I want to buy a new TV. And you go, yeah, what's your budget? You go, $7,000. I went, oh, strap in, buddy, let's go.
Yeah.
And so I immediately go, JB, sort by highest to lowest. And I went, mate, just so you know, biggest TV, 98-inch Samsung, $12,990. That's the most expensive TV, right? Yep. Just so you know, mate, we'll go down from there.
Right.
This TV is currently still on sale.
Yep.
$4,000 off.
What?
$8,999.
Wow.
$8,999.
So it's 4K Neo QLED.
Neo QLED 98-inch TV, current model.
2024 model. Wow.
$8,999.
Wow. Might pick one up.
$4,000 off.
Pretty good.
Can you believe
Did he end up
that?
buying that?
Well, no. See, this is the problem. I went the day after.
7.
Yeah.
His budget was
no,
7.
but he would have gone to. Might have gone to 8. This was the day after I found out about this, right?
Okay.
But it's a end of financial year deal, right?
Of course.
And what I understand is those deals can't last forever because they have to maintain.
Because there's only one end of financial
Well,
year.
no, because they have to put the price back up to $12,999 for a certain period of time before they can then discount it again.
Of course.
But here's the thing.
Of course.
And I don't think Samsung would mind if I said this to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
If you spend $12,999 on this TV, you're a mug. Because
you
it's
get it
going to
cheaper,
be,
yeah.
it's going to be $8,999. If it's not today, it'll be again in a sale in a month. Or I'll tell you when. I guess it'll be on sale again the week before the Olympics.
Hello, that's going to be a story we're going to do about TVs. The excuse to get new TVs is the TV buying guide will be happening before the Olympics.
Yeah. So anyway, check it out. Samsung's QN90D Neo QLED 4K 98-inch TV is on sale now.
RRP was $12,999.
On sale now, $8,999.
So that's 4K off. Wow,
that's wild.
That's great.
Check it out, folks.
Get it into This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Steve.
I know you're drinking, but thanks to the great people at Netgear, Two Blokes Talking Tech, long-time fans and sponsors, because they are fans as well. Let's be real. You don't sponsor a show for 13 years if they're not fans.
They like us. Yeah.
Right?
We like them too.
And we appreciate their support. But the new Orbi 970 series is a vastly different product because it doesn't look like any Orbi before. It's a different kind of shape. It's a bit more like the Nighthawk Wi-Fi 7 shape.
A bit taller than that.
We're talking a triple pack here is an expensive investment, but it is an investment. Well, let's be real.
Yes.
If you are hyped into gadgets like we are and you're building a new home or you're renovating or you're looking to, really up your game, you're thinking about you've got gigabit speed and you want to get more than gigabit when they come because they will come.
Yeah.
This is the place you need to be. And you've tested this already at techguide.com.au.
Remarkable. I described it as the Rolls-Royce of mesh systems because it is great, amazing range. But speed, and I did I did 2 speed tests. So on the Orbi app, you can do a speed test,
of course,
which is basically the speed within the network, like with satellite to the routers. Apparently, I read up on it. I remember I did a YouTube video of the previous model, and all I listed were those speeds, and they were saying, "Oh, you're a fraud. That's just the internal speeds." And I read up, and it actually is the internal speeds. So the speed test app is your proper internet speed, but the other measurement from the Orbi app is the speed of between the satellite
I
and the
don't believe
router.
that's true, but anyway, go on.
Well, I'll show you where I found that out. So I did and you look on my website on Tech Guide.
Yep.
I've got the 2 measurements.
Yep.
And I even labelled them where I took them in my
Nice.
house. And
How'd she perform?
I've got gigabit per second from Aussie Broadband, and I was getting in every corner, literally every corner of my home, more than 900 megabits per second. I think my lowest measurement was 915 megabits per second.
Yep.
And I've got it. My main unit is in my office, which is sort of middle of my house on the first floor, the bottom floor.
Yep.
And then I've got a satellite over in the living area downstairs, and another one upstairs. So they're sort of like they form a triangle.
Yes.
So really, really, the layout suits the coverage, and so every corner, where our bedroom is top floor, very back of the house. I literally stood in the corner with the phone doing the speed test. I got like 927 megabits per second in that room, and
That's
like
wild.
47 megabits upload. So so having things like your smart speakers, the smart TV upstairs, we could connect wirelessly.
I'm going to spend
amazing.
a little bit of extra time on this because I did when we moved into our house, I had my brother-in-law wire Ethernet into different places.
Yep.
And I'm going to use the Ethernet backhaul that exists on this,
yes.
right? So there's Ethernet at my television.
Yeah, I'm actually going to
There's
do
Ethernet
that too.
upstairs.
Yeah.
So I'm going to set these up with an Ethernet backhaul.
I'm going to do that too. I've got an internet connection. I've got a connection from my office to upstairs, the desk upstairs. That's connected. I'm going to put the cable there, so having that dedicated backhaul
Great
as well.
stuff.
That'll probably make it even faster. Internally, even faster.
TechGuide.com.au for a full review. And if you want to look at purchasing the Netgear 970 series, you can check it out at netgear.com.au.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Now, if you're listening in the car with the kids, look, I need to tell you, Uncle Trevor's going to say a naughty word. So, kids, block your ears. There's been some federal court action. The ACMA, the Australian Communications Media Authority, has taken Optus to court, looking to get damages over the millions of people's data that was leaked a couple of years ago in 2022 now, wasn't it? September 2022.
Yeah, that's right.
And here's the headline that I want to give you here on Two Blokes Talking Tech. Yeah. The ACMA has put in their legal document that they've literally said that the Optus cyber attack was not highly sophisticated or one that required advanced skills. No shit, Sherlock. Kelly.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. It was the headline on the ABC website says the Optus cyber attack could have been prevented 4 years prior.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of it's like kind of leaving the sort of a window open when you leave the house.
Look, basically what happened was there was 2 servers created, an API server and the main server, and they were used for testing and different things. And they closed down the main server's access to this thing, but this API server stayed open, and so you could just do what you needed to do to it. And so this door was left open after some development was done.
Oopsie.
And what this person did, some days before it happened, somewhere between September 17 and 20, a cyber attacker accessed the server in question and obtained customers' personally identifiable information of around 9.5 million current and former customers. And by exploiting that coding error, they were able to bypass access controls and send the request. The cyber attack was not highly sophisticated or one that required advanced skills or proprietary or internal knowledge of Optus systems, right?
Yeah.
So that's critical. It was carried out through a simple process of trial and error. These are court documents, right, submitted by the ACMA. They also say the cyber attack was first detected on the 17th of September. Following investigation, Optus became aware of the cyber attack was happening around 8 p.m. on the 19th of September and blocked internet traffic about 6 hours later in the early morning of the 20th of September.
But in that period of time, they'd already
bolted.
downloaded all the data.
Yep.
Yeah, not a good look. What does that say? What does that say about their IT department? Like this is the second biggest telco in Australia.
It's not good.
Like would that after this court decision, if the people in the IT department are still working for Optus, would they still have a job now?
Well, obviously, Optus has this is a filing from the ACMA, so Optus now has to respond to this.
Yes,
they've been asked to provide the Deloitte investigation that was done. So that's great because it means we're gonna find out about that. We're gonna see bits of it. We're gonna hear about it, right?
Yeah.
It'll all be redacted, but we're gonna
relive it.
We're gonna find out what really happened.
Why is it going to be redacted?
Because there's parts of this
There's like proprietary
judgment
stuff they can't
different
discuss.
things.
Right.
But here's the thing, and I'm not here to bash Kelly Bayer Rosmarin again. But I will. The thing is, it just shows, right, she was told by someone what happened and either decided to say it was sophisticated or literally didn't realise how unsophisticated it was.
It was. Can I use a naughty word now?
How big is the naughty word?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't. It's not going to be worse than that.
Yeah.
This was a covering your ass exercise.
Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This is exactly that. It turned into
spot on.
It turned from what I'm seeing here. We lived every day of the breach, right?
You made her cry, Stephen.
Yeah. It wasn't intentional, but the saga was that it was sophisticated and that they're working around the clock and contacting customers and so hearing this, and they knew this from day one, right? They knew that they probably went, oh shit, is that how it happened?
Yeah,
right. So the fact that they circled the wagons, now we know why.
Well, I wonder how much more is going to come out. Yeah.
How embarrassing would it have been for them to say, and they were probably thinking of share market prices and the board in Singapore, if they had to come out the next day and go, oops, it's our fault. Yeah. We left a door open.
Bottom line, Optus is very lucky that they've moved on and they've got new leadership because that's what they need. That's not a disparaging comment towards Kelly. They needed a change. They need a break. They need a new start. That's what they're going to get. But this needs to get put behind them. They need to really quickly. Yeah. If I'm Stephen Rue, who's the incoming CEO, not until November, I'm ringing the acting bloke. Go, listen, here's the deal.
Yeah. Mate, close those windows.
Send them everything they want.
Yeah.
Get this resolved because I want this resolved.
And take our punishment.
I want all this public.
Medicine.
Yes, yep. I want everything we're going to say. Yep. You know what?
Just fresh start.
Final thing I'll say, and we both said this way back then.
Yep.
What they need to do with their Deloitte report, which they never, they need to stand up and have a press conference with people like me and you and everyone else there.
Here's what happened.
Say, here's what happened, like Samsung did with the batteries.
Totally right. And we said it. How often did we say Samsung wrote a textbook on how to handle a crisis during that thing? Right?
And Optus shredded it.
And they should have looked at it, but they didn't. Right? It was a bit arrogant that they didn't do that. I think it was obviously. I'll say it. It was a cover up.
Yeah.
This whole thing was a cover up because they didn't come out with this. They knew this from day one.
They knew this.
Didn't come out
they certainly
with it.
knew this early.
Yeah. It's no wonder they were a bit reluctant to talk to us.
I wonder why.
And other people.
All right, Stephen. Two Blokes Talking Tech. Thank you to Netgear. Thank you to Arlo. You can read all about other things that we've done because we don't really talk about many stories here. techguide.com.au and EFTM.com. Look forward to having your company next week, Stephen.
Yeah, likewise.
All right, man. You sound excited.
Very excited.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.